Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on tonight's Paranormal Pit Stop, which just so happens to land us at a historic lodging located off Hollywood Boulevard in the Hollywood district of Los Angeles, California, that boasts the title of being the oldest continuously operating hotel in the city. Framed by the Hollywood Walk of Fame, sitting adjacent to the TCL Chinese Theater, named after our 26th US president, and rumored to harbor a mountain of paranormal activity. Are you prepared to brave the ghosts of the Hollywood Roosevelt? Historically, the Roosevelt was originally constructed in 1926 amidst the golden era of Los Angeles architecture and would open its doors on May 15th of 1927. The project was funded by a group of interests including Louis B. Mayer, Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks, and Sid Grauman, with costs totaling more than $2.5 million. And iconically, on May 16th of 1929, the first Academy Awards ceremony was held on site within the hotel's Blossom Ballroom. Sadly, through the 1950s, the Hollywood Roosevelt would slip into decline, during which time it would be stripped of its archways, artful ceiling, and would be repainted a seafoam green. And around the same period, the cabanas were installed just steps away from the pool and cafe. In 1985, the business was purchased by Radisson Hotels, who would launch a series of restoration and renovation efforts, utilizing original blueprints and historic photos to perfect its Spanish colonial architecture. And in 1987, artist David Hockney would paint a $1 million mural at the bottom of the Tropicana pool. On August 13th of 1991, the city of Los Angeles would declare the site an LA Historic Cultural Monument. In 1995, the property was purchased by Goodwin Gaw, who would later take on David Chang as a co-owner, and in 2005, management of the lodging was taken over by the Thompson Hotel Group. The same year, a $30 million renovation project was launched, with the job headed by the Dodd Mitchell Design Group and David Sigua. In 2015, the hotel would complete another $25 million in renovations, with its new rooms designed by Jabu Puschelberg, alongside planning for a new poolside food and beverage outlet. And from 2015 and onward, the site has been run independently by its own management company. Today, the Hollywood Roosevelt towers above its surroundings at 12 stories and boasts 300 guest rooms, including 63 suites, while featuring 8 separate restaurants, bars, and lounges. Its recognizable gable Lombard penthouse is a 3,200 square foot duplex with an outdoor deck and a breathtaking view of the Hollywood Hills, along with their ever-famous Hollywood sign, and derives its moniker from Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, who used to stay quite often. Alternately, the Marilyn Monroe suite derives its name from the legend herself, from when she actually resided on the property for 2 years early into her career. Over its lengthy existence, a number of stories of supernatural occurrences and local legends have emerged from the Roosevelt, with some purporting the site is haunted by the spirits of celebrities who stayed within, including Monroe, Montgomery Clift, and Errol Flynn, alongside countless others. And both staff and visitors have described phantom knocking on doors, footsteps from empty halls, disembodied voices, and orbs, strange mists, and half-formed silhouettes in the backgrounds of photography. Though he never had a room named to honor his memory, Montgomery Clift stayed in room 928 for 3 months during the filming of the 1953 war epic From Here to Eternity, during which time he would stroll the halls practicing the bugle for his role. A number of guests since have reported hearing the sounds of a ghostly bugle in the 9th floor hall, and maids and guests who have entered his old room have described the constant feeling of being watched, abnormal battery death rates, and the sensation of an unseen hand on their shoulders. 2 separate entities have been encountered in the Blossom Room, where the first Academy Awards were held, one being the ghost of a man in a tux, and the other a gentleman in a white suit usually spied near the piano. And in the Marilyn Monroe suite, a number of guests have reported sighting Monroe's reflection behind them in the old mirror. Another mirror, previously held within this same room, is rumored to have been moved somewhere else in the building, and is also said to harbor a piece of her spirit. One popular legend tells of a little girl named Caroline, who it's said drowned in the pool with her brother while their father was out running errands. Her small presence has been encountered near the water, or sometimes in the jacuzzi, accompanied by the apparition of her brother, and nearly always asks passerbys if they've seen her parents. Also reported at the Hollywood Roosevelt are instances in which reception has received phone calls from empty rooms, and several informal investigations have yielded temperature fluctuations, chilling EVPs, and both full-bodied entities and shadowy figures captured on video. On the hotel's main stairway, Shirley Temple is said to have perfected her famous stair-step dance, and those nearing have caught glimpses of a small form dancing up and down that many believe is part of her spirit stuck repeating the same monotonous practice drill into eternity. Reported across the whole of the property are accounts of guests experiencing horrifying nightmares, a constant eerie and uncomfortable feeling, encounters with apparitions in old staff uniforms long past, seemingly going about their daily routines from life, and run-ins with a spectral maid always spied cleaning rooms that disappears when approached or addressed. One final fable tells that Errol Flynn actually invented his recipe for bootleg gin utilizing the barbershop tub, and those passing by have reported sighting his spirit, tinkering and dabbling like a chemist, while he tests and tastes his legendary brew. Thanks for tuning in for this Paranormal Pit Stop. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.